In your previous lesson, you've learned about argumentative text and how to present arguments about both sides of an issue. Remember that the general structure of an argumentative essay follows this format: introduction, body, counter-argument, and conclusions. This video lesson will guide you to develop various stages of your writing skill and will guide you in writing an essay on a familiar issue, which include key structural elements and language features. Further, this will let you accomplish the following specific objectives: describe an informative text, identify techniques used in informative text, and write an informative essay about a familiar issue. I hope you all are ready to watch this video lesson. It's easy to think about informative text as writing that provides information, but it's more than that. Not only does informative text have its own style, but there are types and structures of informative text. We'll go over that and more in this lesson. Let's start by answering this question. What is an informative text? Informative or informational text is non-fiction writing, written with the intention of informing the reader about a specific topic. It is typically found in magazines, science or history books, autobiographies, and instruction manuals. They are written using special text features that allow the reader to easily find key information and understand the main topic.
We learn something every day by reading. Whether we know it or not, we learn through various reading sources like social media, smartphone applications, and newspapers. These texts are informative because they build upon our prior knowledge or feed us with information we didn't know. Informative text contains a number of aids that make it easier for readers to follow along and get the information they need. Written cues, graphics, illustrations, and organizational structure are all aids you'll find in informative text.
You'll notice these written cues in books. The table of contents at the front of the book makes it easy for readers to quickly see where they can find specific information. The index found at the end of the book neatly lists all of the topics and the page numbers that denote the location of those topics. If you're confused by what a word or phrase means, you can check the glossary of terms, which provides those definitions. There might even be an appendix, which provides additional informative text on a specific subject. Informative text may contain graphics to help the reader understand the subject. It shows you the information while providing some explanatory text. Flow diagrams, sketches, and maps are all examples of other graphics used in informative text, but graphics aren't the only visual aids. Illustrations provide additional visual techniques in informative text. Photos are also used for illustrative purposes. Not only do the illustrations help readers see what the words describe, but they can also help readers understand the words themselves.
So how is this informative text organized? Informative text uses type, fonts, and labels to help readers find information. A bold word creates emphasis. A phrase set in italics is similar. It adds extra emphasis on an important word or phrase. Numbered or bulleted lists set apart important information in an orderly fashion. Authors might use headings, subheadings, and labels to also denote importance. These are all ways informative text can organize content.
Now, let's take a look at the structure of informative text. When it comes to structure, an informative essay follows the same basic principles as argumentative writing. The main difference between the two is the purpose. While an argumentative essay is designed to persuade the reader to agree with the position argued in its claim, an informative essay's sole purpose is to educate the reader. The basic structure of an informative essay is very simple. It needs to have a beginning, middle, and end. These are known more formally as the introduction, body, and conclusion, respectively.
The beginning, otherwise known as the introduction, is your opportunity to present your thesis statement and grab the attention of the reader. A thesis statement is one sentence that expresses the main idea of an essay. It makes a claim directly answering a question. The middle, otherwise known as the body, is your opportunity to expound upon the thesis statement and grab the attention of the audience with solid facts, statistics, statements, and other supporting details. The body will be several paragraphs long, comprising the bulk of the essay. This is where you'll provide further details about the main idea. The end, otherwise known as the conclusion, is your opportunity to summarize the essay in a paragraph or two. Be sure to reiterate the thesis statement clearly. Offer a sentence or two reiterating what was learned about those topic areas.
Here is an example of an informational text. Try to keep an eye out on how it's organized. Informational text can use a variety of structures. Basically, you can adopt whichever will best deliver your message. There are 5 common structures: cause and effect, compare and contrast, sequential order, problem and solution, and description.
Cause and effect is a common way to organize information in a text. Paragraphs structured as cause and effect explain reasons why something happened or the effects of something. The signal words because, as a result, resulted, caused, affected, since, due to, and effect may indicate that information in a paragraph is organized as cause and effect. Sequential order, or process writing as it is sometimes called, is when information in a passage is organized by the order in which it occurs. This method of organizing text is generally used for instructions or directions. Sequential organization is frequently confused with chronological order. Texts organized chronologically occur at a specific time and setting, whereas texts describing processes or sequences do not occur at any specific time and place. Signal words for this structure are first, next, before, lastly, and then. Compare and contrast is a text structure or pattern of organization where the similarities and differences of two or more things are explored. To compare is to examine how things are similar, while to contrast is to see how they differ. Like, unlike, both, neither, similar, however, and different are some signal words that may indicate that the text is written using the compare and contrast organizational pattern. Problem and solution is a pattern of organization where information in a passage is expressed as a dilemma or concerning issue, and something that was, can be, or should be done to remedy this issue. There are also a few signal words which may indicate that information in a passage is ordered in the problem and solution pattern of organization. These are propose, solution, answer, issue, problem, problematic, remedy, prevention, and fix. Spatial organization is when information in a passage is organized in order of space or location. It may also be called descriptive writing, and it is most frequently used when the narrator describes how something looks. Some signal words that might indicate that the writer or speaker is following the spatial pattern of organization include a wide sweeping array of prepositions like next to, behind, across from, below that, above that, to the right of, and so forth.
To sum up our lesson, informative text is a unique type of writing. You'll see it in a number of different mediums. Informative text can appear in newspapers, textbooks, reference materials, and research papers. Informative text is always nonfiction. The basic structure of an informative text is very simple. It needs to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. These are known more formally as the introduction, body, and conclusion. Informational text can use a variety of structures: cause and effect, sequential order, problem and solution, compare and contrast, and description. Now that we have thoroughly discussed in this lesson what an informative text is, and likewise dealing with the structure and technique of writing an informative text, let us evaluate how well you understood our lesson. Let's have a quiz. I know you can do it. Choose the letter of the best answers to the following questions. You have 5 seconds to answer.
A picture or chart meant to add meaning to the text is called A. Pull quote, B. Graphic, C. Infomercial, D. Annotation. The answer is B. Graphic. What is the purpose of a thesis statement? A. To entertain the audience. B. To create a sentence with details. C. To provide text evidence. D. It states the main idea and tells what the text is all about. The answer is D. It states the main idea and tells what the text is all about. When the author wanted his readers to understand a point, it is called A. Attitude, B. Irony, C. Tone, D. Author's purpose. The answer is D. Author's purpose. Why do we need evidence in informational writing? A. To prove people wrong. B. To provide a conclusion. C. To explain what I want readers to understand. D. To create unity in the text. The answer is B. To provide a conclusion. What are signal words? A. They tell you what direction to go. B. They tell the reader what page to look for information. C. They tell the reader where you got your information. D. They show how events and ideas. The answer is letter D. They show how events and ideas. Which of the following is a characteristic of informative writing? A. Increase knowledge. B. Explain a procedure. C. Explain a concept in depth. D. All of the given choices. The answer is D. All of the given choices. Which of the following is another name for a sequence text structure? A. Step-by-step. B. Problem and solution. C. Chronological. D. Description. The correct answer is A. Step-by-step. To determine the cause, ask yourself blank something happened. A. When. B. Where. C. Why. D. How. The correct answer is C. Why. This is a text structure where similarities and differences of two things are explored. A. Description. B. Sequence. C. Compare and contrast. D. Chronological. The answer is C. Compare and contrast. Which of the following items might contain an informative text? A. A textbook. B. Directions on the package of a toy. C. An autobiography. D. All of the given choices. The answer is D. All of the given choices.
You did great! The lessons that you have learned from this video will help you develop your writing skills. For further practice, please refer to your modules and other references. Again, I am Mrs. Maria Almaliza Sicalin, your English teacher for today. Happy to serve!